Hello to you, Bruce Aston here with your weekly update on the fine wine market today, Friday the 18th of January 2013. So to start off, there's more good news from the market this week, which builds on the momentum that was clearly gathering towards the end of last year. Indeed, this week saw the value of bids on LiveX hit an all-time high, reaching £7.9 million in total. Now, the last peak for total bids on the exchange was back in February 2011, and the total it reached then was £7.5 million. So it's all going in the right direction. What does it actually show, though? Well, most importantly, it shows that the industry is buying again. Up until the summer of last year, we all know that the market fell. Not as bad as most markets, it has to be said. The decline in the wine market was actually probably more of a market correction following a sustained period of very, very heavy buying from the Asian market. Nevertheless, this came as something of a shock to most investors in fine wine who, up until that point, for quite some time, had been used to, of course, seeing their portfolios go up in value almost on a daily basis. But with this level of bids on the exchange, clearly things are now going in the right direction. As LiveX points out, in fact, members bid to buy wines on LiveX, so a bid represents the price that a member wishes to pay for a wine. Therefore, an increase in the number of bids usually points to optimism within the market. Now, just to remind you, as a company, we only buy and sell wines from LiveX. We don't use any other sources, and we naturally do so at the live market price. So if you'd like to get in at the start of what could be the best opportunity to invest in fine wine since 2009, simply visit www.astonlovell.com, where you can incidentally set up a free trading account with us. Or you can call us on 0208 858 990, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Now, apart from bids reaching a record level, the good news is that the market itself is faring pretty well as well. Now, all indices in December ended on a high, and the LiveX 50 has posted gains so far this month practically every day. Not every day, but almost every day. Something else that's interesting to note is the fact that the fine wine market does seem to operate on a 10-year cycle. Now, this isn't, a scientific study or anything, but it is interesting to point out that the previous low points in the market came in 2002 and 1992. So does this mean that the market is now poised at the start of a new positive cycle? Well, we certainly hope so, and of course all of our clients certainly hope so, but the good news is that the signs are indicating that this very realistically might be the case. On a slightly different note, in case you haven't seen it, LiveX and the drinks business have just published their 2012 edition of the LiveX Power 100. Now, basically, this is their annual list of the most powerful brands in the fine wine marketplace. I'll give you just a quick run through of their findings, as they are quite interesting. In a nutshell, they are as follows, and I quote: Domaine Romani Conti has knocked Lafite Rothschild off first place, with the First Growth falling 8 places. Burgundy's popularity in Asia secured the brand's crown. First Growths have dropped off the top spots as Asian demand waned. The 5 premier crus may have accounted for the most trade on LiveX, but Lafite's share was actually down 9.4% year on year. Poor price performance was the biggest factor in their descents. An appetite for right bank Bordeaux has seen several wines climb up the table, including recently promoted Parvis, which was up 18 places, and Figeac, which is actually a new entry. Surprisingly, it was another new entry, Clos Forte, that saw the greatest price change, and that was up 34%. Finally, they point out that with buyers branching out beyond Bordeaux, wines from Italy and Champagne are increasingly popular. Positive price movements pushed the Super Tuscans up the table this year. So the report aside, there really is a strong feeling in the market at the moment that the traditional route might be the route for this year. Now, what I mean by that is if you're looking to build a portfolio of fine wine, you need to look for, first of all, good value, and there's a lot of that about these days, and you need to look for Bordeaux. Now, presently, we would suggest that you should be looking for the off vintages, or from the first growths, and obviously the right bank performers at the moment are wines that you should be looking at if you want to make some money from the market. The good news, though, is that with Aston Lovell's trading platform, you don't have to play the market in that traditional way. And now when I say the traditional way, I mean buying wine, laying it down, holding it for the medium to long term, 5 or 10 years, and having to put up with the bad times and enjoying the good times. With us as your broker, you can buy into the wines that are currently performing, and then you can sell out of them the minute they start waning. Now, this means very simply that you'll be able to take your profits, or you can reinvest in whatever is performing at the time when you sell. So if you'd like to find out more, simply visit us on www.astonlovell.com or call us on 0208 858 990, and we'll be very happy to help. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next Friday.